It was a rainy Thursday afternoon in downtown Atlanta, the kind that made the streets glisten like polished glass. A sleek black Range Rover rolled to a stop in front of Elysian Gems, one of the city's most exclusive jewelry boutiques. The woman who stepped out wore a sharp navy suit, heels clicking confidently as she walked. Her name was Monique Davis, a 38-year-old powerhouse, the CEO and founder of the very jewelry empire she was now visiting. But today, she came unannounced. No chauffeur. No assistant. No VIP treatment. Just her and a desire to see how her staff treated everyday customers. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, share to friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story goes. Monique pulled open the glass doors and stepped inside. The boutique was immaculate, soft jazz playing, crystals sparkling under recessed lighting. A young woman behind the counter, Marissa, glanced up with a polite smile, then instantly lowered her gaze, her demeanor changing like a switch. Monique approached a display of emerald necklaces, admiring a particular piece that shimmered with understated elegance. She reached out to open the case, but Marissa's voice cut sharply through the music. "Excuse me," she said coolly. "Those pieces are high-end. Can I help you with something else?" Monique raised an eyebrow but said nothing yet. Instead, she offered a warm smile. "I'd like to see this one, please." Marissa didn't budge. "Are you sure? Maybe something from the front shelf would be more suitable." There it was. The tone. That carefully concealed condescension. Monique folded her arms. "Suitable?" "Yes," Marissa said, with a tight-lipped smile. "We reserve appointments for certain collections. If you don't have one, I suggest coming back, maybe next week." Still calm, Monique nodded slowly. "And what's your name?" The woman's brows creased slightly, suspicious now. "Marissa. Why?" Monique stepped back, surveying the room. Another customer had walked in and was greeted warmly, even offered water. That customer, a white man in casual jeans, was immediately shown to the VIP section. Monique felt the sting, not just for herself, but for every person who'd ever been dismissed, overlooked, or judged based on appearance. She glanced back at Marissa, whose arms were now crossed. "I see," Monique said quietly. She reached into her bag, pulled out her phone, and made a call. "Jackson," she said. "I need you on the floor. Elysian Gems, now." Within 5 minutes, the store's atmosphere shifted. Jackson, the district manager, rushed in like a whirlwind, eyes scanning nervously. He spotted Monique and straightened instantly. "Ms. Davis. I wasn't expecting you today." Marissa's face went pale. Monique didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. "Jackson, can you tell me what your company policy is on customer service?" "Absolutely," he stammered. "Every client, regardless of background, is treated with dignity and respect. No profiling. No exceptions." Monique turned to Marissa, who was now fidgeting, color draining from her face. "This is Marissa," Monique said softly. "She just refused to show me merchandise. Suggested I couldn't afford it. I walked in here like any other customer, deliberately, and was turned away. Meanwhile, she welcomed another client with open arms." Jackson looked mortified. I'm so sorry, This is unacceptable." Marissa opened her mouth to speak, but Monique held up her hand. "You didn't recognize me. That's fine. But your assumptions were loud and clear." Jackson stepped forward, heart pounding. "Ms. Davis, would you like me to handle this?" "No," Monique said calmly. "I already have." She turned to Marissa, who stood frozen, shame washing over her. "Marissa, you're dismissed. Effective immediately." It was quiet. Even the music seemed to dim. Marissa's mouth opened again. "I didn't know." "That's exactly the problem," Monique interrupted. "You didn't care to know. You looked at me and made a decision based on skin, not presence. You judged before asking. And now, you've shown me the culture you've created here. One that I will not allow in my business." As Marissa walked out, humiliated and speechless, Monique turned back to Jackson. "Retrain every staff member. Effective tomorrow. And make it mandatory." "Yes, he said, nodding quickly. Monique exhaled deeply, the weight of the moment slowly settling. She turned back to the emerald necklace, lifted it from the case herself, and admired its elegance. A store associate, One who had remained silent during the ordeal stepped forward nervously. "Ms. Davis, I just want to say I'm sorry. That shouldn't have happened." Monique gave a half-smile. "It happens more than you think. And it stops today." She left the store without buying anything, but her message lingered long after she was gone. The story didn't end there. The footage from that day, captured by security cameras and leaked days later, went viral. Not because Monique was a CEO, but because so many people saw themselves in her shoes. The overlooked. The misjudged. The ones told this isn't for you. Public response was swift. Messages poured in. News outlets covered it. People of all backgrounds applauded her grace, her control, and her power, not just as a leader, but as a woman who stood firm in her truth. Marissa, on the other hand, issued a public apology. But the internet, rarely forgetful, had already moved on to the larger lesson. Moral of the story: respect isn't earned by appearance. It's granted by default. Every human being deserves kindness, dignity, and a chance to be seen for who they truly are. Discrimination, whether silent or loud, has no place in our society, and certainly not in business. Leaders like Monique teach us that power isn't just in titles. It's in how we use our voice when it matters most. And sometimes, the quietest moments carry the loudest lessons. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful true-life moments. Drop a comment. Where are you watching from? And remember, always treat people right. You never know who's watching, or who you're serving.